Shields have failed. Good to see you again. Thank you for responding to my message so quickly. The Tholians have the quantum phase inhibitor. I've tracked their ship to this system, and I'm detecting some telltale quantum fluctuations within the star. They're trying to use the device. We need to stop them and recover the device. First, however, we need to help the Nakul. At this point in their history, they're not prepared to repel a Tholian attack.
Unidentified vessel. You have entered our space without authorization. If you are an ally of the Tholians, leave now. We have done nothing to provoke their attacks, but we will defend ourselves. Thank you. My people have few warships. Any assistance you could provide against the Tholians would be appreciated. Unusual quantum fluctuations. It's as if the star's nuclear fusion is decaying at an increased rate. So this is your fault? Why would you make such a terrible thing? You caused this problem. I expect you to fix it, or we will hold you and your people responsible for the consequences.
I never should have made that device. I was only focused on the idea, on whether it was possible. I didn't stop to think of all the harm it could do in the wrong hands. We have to stop the Tholians before they shut down the star's fusion. If that happens, the effect on this system will be devastating. The Nakul will lose their home, and life will probably never develop here again. The lead Tholian ship has the quantum phase inhibitor. They're going to use it on the star. We have to stop them, board that vessel, and get it back. Cursed Vorgons. If they hadn't chased me, none of this would have happened. The Tholians...
Tholians, just as xenophobic and opportunistic in your time as mine. We have to be getting closer to the toxin dock. Stay alert.
Enemy targets on sensors.
The bridge should be just ahead.
Flanking damage detected.
Now we just need to drop that force. Finally! We have the quantum phase inhibitor. I brought this device through time to hide it from the Vorgons, but I never thought the Tholians would steal it. Now we need to...
Set a course for the Ryza system. Ryza, early 22nd century. Even the tourists won't be in this region for a few years. Wow, rain on Ryza? I guess they haven't installed the weather control systems yet. We have to hide the device very well. I can't afford to let it fall into the wrong hands again. And the Vorgons are very persistent. No, that's too obvious. Anyone could find it there. That's better, but I still think it would be too easy to find. That's it. Someone will find it in a few hundred years, but that's a different story for a different captain. Let's get back to your time. We need to check on the Nakul. Setting course for 2410. We need to get back to the Nakul.
Return the toxin tap, and we will let you live.
Captain Walker of the USS Pasta.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Right shield failing.
I'm sure that will be a great comfort to our citizens as they freeze to death. You have done quite enough. Leave us alone. Time travelers and malcontents and Thulians. The whole lot of you can fall into a black hole. Now, go. We have to figure out how to save our people. And then we'll take steps to protect ourselves. Time is a weapon, and it will never be turned against us again.
This is Captain Benjamin Walker of the USS Postok. I'm responding to an emergency temporal transmission from these space-time coordinates, but we are no longer detecting the source of these transmissions. Did you lose a time traveler? I think you better come aboard while we resolve this. Prepare for transport.
Greetings. It's nice to see you again. Not that you remember. We need to scan the continuum for Caldano. Would you care to assist me? Were you able to locate Caldano? Enter the temporal coordinates into the transporter. What happened with Caldano? No, this was meant to happen. Caldano went further back into the past than you knew. The NX-01 Enterprise, captained by Jonathan Archer, found his ship in the 22nd century, and his chief engineer activated Caldano's emergency temporal circuit, which returned the ship to its last known time, this one. But by the time that happened, Caldano had been dead for centuries. The Tox Utat is safe. It was found in the mid-24th century by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who destroyed it before it could be used to harm others. Altering the past causes ripples. The effects move through time, shifting everything they touch, and it may take eons for all of them to be seen. The Nakul will survive, although their homeworld will be lost. They will become time travelers themselves, and their actions in the temporal Cold War shaped the galaxy you now know. There are some things you shouldn't change, that you can't. You could check Captain Archer's old logs for more information, but you will know all about it soon enough. You are entering a dangerous era in history. Time travel, like warp drive before it, will radically change your society. I'll see you again. We have a lot to do.
The Iconian War is finally over, and we can concentrate once more on securing the future of the Romulan Republic. We've recently learned that an unexplored star system near Ferenginar has suddenly become unstable. Nobody seems to know why the star is dying. In the interest of exploration and expansion of the Republic's knowledge, and potentially its borders, I want you to head there and see what you can learn. To secure our future, we will need resources and allies. Turning our ships toward exploration is the best way to find both.
Thank you for the pickup. I'm Tenora Zuval. Let's get started. My preliminary observations show some kind of unknown stellar problem. This unexplored system near Ferenginar is undergoing solar death. Basically, it's as if the star is going out suddenly, but there's no good reason why. We need to get close enough to take some readings and see what we can figure out. Getting swamped with solar radiation. Try reducing the gain on your sensors. Initial results don't make any sense. The star's core reactions are failing, but it still has so much mass that it should be conducting fusion. It's as if it suddenly decided that it was no longer going to do hydrogen fusion, just heavier fusion processes. This kind of matter is ejected during corona events. We should be able to collect some with your ship's ram scopes if we head to one of the ejection zones. Results are coming in now. This still isn't making any sense. It's as if the star's life cycle was suddenly accelerated somehow, but it never went through an expansion cycle. There's no good explanation for this yet. Maybe something else in the system caused it. If this is system-wide, we should find evidence of similar problems, with nuclear and chemical reactions in the system's gaseous bodies. There's a large amount of gaseous stellar matter further from the star. We should have no trouble checking that hypothesis. This is very strange. Usually nebulae are massive clouds between star systems. Finding a micronebula in a system like this is quite rare. This may be the result of an event such as a cosmic string, shearing through a gas giant and turning it back into particulate matter. I'll need some more readings to know for certain. All the particulate matter will make your ship's sensors unreliable beyond a few kilometers, and shields will be offline. The best we'll be able to do is to check small areas until we get close to something unusual. We should head to where the deionized particle density is highest.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Data is coming in now. Nothing unusual coming in from the nebula, but those Tholian ships were quite far from home. Unfortunately, they can't give us answers. Looks like there's some heavy ionization on the far side of the nebula, though. As if it's receiving some kind of reflected radiation from one of the gas giants.
Greetings, unknown vessel. This is Administrator Kumar K. Please provide identification. Welcome to Lukari. Visitors here are rare, but we're always gratified by the chance to meet and exchange information with travelers. I regret that you have arrived at a difficult time. You may have noticed that our home star has become unstable. I'm leading a project to try to reignite the star. Unfortunately, we've already suffered severe disruptions, and we have a lot of problems to tackle right now. These problems started only recently, just a few days ago. Our astronomers noted a significant shift in the star's output, and now it looks like it's guttering and dying. If we can't solve this problem, it's the end of our species. I'm the project leader for our solar probe team. We're going to try to restart fusion with a quantum chromodynamic accretion burst, but honestly, this is a colossal problem, and it may be beyond us. We have a solar probe ready that contains the booster module that needs to be fired into the star. It's capable of warp 2. There's a problem, though. The probe's remote navigation systems don't work. All of the interference from the solar flaring and guttering is blocking the signal. Could your ship get a trajectory plot so that we could set a pre-programmed course? We're getting your telemetry now. I'll have my engineers prepare the probe. Let's see if this works. The probe's made it out of orbit. Engaging secondary boosters to head out of planetary range. It's gone to warp. The probe is arriving at the solar corona. Deploying chromodynamic booster. No effect. It didn't work. Repeat. Well, it didn't work. That was our one shot. Thank you for trying to help. I'm not sure what to try next. Maybe we can evacuate a few people. I'm not going to give up. But the situation is grim. If your people can offer any other help, we would welcome it. But I just don't see a way to relocate 8 billion people in the next few hours.
My name is Caldano. Looks like I've arrived at the perfect time. I'm here to help with the problem with this star. I'm a scientist, and I have some specialized knowledge that can help.
With apologies for the interruption, this is my home star. My people are the ones at risk here. If you have some way to reverse this process, my people should be involved. All right, I'm willing to do so, but it will take me a little while to get a shuttle out there. As you might imagine, things are a little hectic over here right now.
You won't be able to get a lock on my ship interior due to the subspace manifolds. I'll go ahead and bring you aboard. Welcome aboard. I'm Caldano.
You moved me here without crossing the intervening space. You have quantum teleportation technology.
Yes, we call it a transporter. It has a limited range, but it's useful for going from surface to ship.
Impossible! This ship's interior is massive, even though it's no bigger than a shuttle.
My ship uses compactified subspace folds. It's bigger on the inside.
This is all quite overwhelming. This Caldano person is another stranger from somewhere else. And you're here to help with our dying star? Oh. Yes, I suppose I can see how a star suddenly dying might attract someone's attention. It's an odd coincidence. we'd probably never have met if it weren't for the trouble with the star. My people have never really had any desire to go exploring out there. We've sent a few probes and met a couple of neighbors, but we're happy at home, and we have what we need, so why risk it? I guess this crisis answers that question. It sounds like you have a lot of experience in meeting other kinds of people. Maybe if we survive this, we can take the chance and learn more about each other, to talk about what we might have in common and what we have to offer. What can I do to help? My home is at risk. I want to do something, to be involved in solving this problem.
Welcome to my ship. Don't be alarmed. This vessel is from the 31st century and it has some technology you may not recognize yet. I can assure you, though, that I'm here to help. Correct. I'm associated with a temporal division of, well, let's just say that I'm an ally from the future, and I'm here to save the Lucari star. No, I'm trying to prevent changes. Someone's tampered with this star. It's not supposed to die out here. The Lucari don't disappear today. At least not if we have any say in it. I have some technology that can help, but we'll need to rework it in order to repair the star's fusion processes. What I need you to do is to help me align this matrix to match the star's original spectrum. I'll regulate the device's main power state from this console. Sounds like whoever tried to destabilize the Lucari star has decided to come knocking. Let's see who. They're...
What are those things?
Tholians! Keep them away. I need to finish these computations. I have the device shielded in a force field, but I can't deploy it until these Tholians are out of the way. Shields are back online. They shouldn't be able to get any more boarding parties over.
Personal shield losing power.
We've got a breather. Now I just have to charge the device and prepare it for use. In just a few minutes, it'll propagate a quantum wave shift that should correct the star's stalled fusion process. You should head back to your ship, and I'll send the administrator back home. The device is charging. We're just a few minutes away from repairing the star.
Give us the talks, mutant.
Just one.
Warning.
Now the Romulan want my quantum phase inhibitor.
Shield's gonna fail.
You will surrender the talks you have, or you will be destroyed.
Obviously, we can't let it happen. Just need a little more time to rejuvenate the star. Capacitor's full. Firing in 3 seconds.
Activating the rejuvenator.
It's working. Look at the star. Check the spectral readings. The fusion process is reigniting, and it's returning to normal.
Some of those ships have just arrived at our home system. They're attacking our homeworld. Some of those ships have just arrived at our home system. They're attacking our home... Please, you have to stop them. We don't have any warships or space vessels.
Target shields have failed.
The Tholians have managed to get my ship in a web. I need your help. My quantum phase inhibitor! Thanks for the save, but the Tholians managed to steal the Tox Uthot while they had my ship webbed. That must have been their plan all along. My data suggests the Tholians use a trilithium warhead to destabilize the star, but the amount of resources needed to build such a weapon makes it inefficient to say the least. No, I suspect somehow they knew I would come here to save this star, and I would bring the Tox Uthot. Fortunately, the Lucari star is safe. However, nobody else will be, as long as the Tholians have that device. They could use it to snuff out or destabilize stars anywhere they want. I have some thoughts on that, but I will need to do some calculations. These events, and the Tox Uthot itself, are tied up in the temporal Cold War. The Tholians may not care, but by using the Tox Uthot, they risk distorting the timeline by wiping out civilizations that are supposed to survive into the future, such as the Lucari. I'll be in touch. At least now the Lucari will have a promising future.
Caldano is correct. You have preserved our future. My people will be forever grateful, not to mention my personal gratitude, of course. I think we have a bright future ahead of us, if you'll forgive my play on words. I am eager to see where it leads. Thank you once again. I wish I could ask you about your science, your trade, your society. But I suppose there will be time for all of that now that our crisis has been averted. Won't there?
Oh, I think our friend the administrator here is going to need a ride home. Would you mind? If you'll pick her up and take her home, I'll start looking for more data about the Tholians' plans.
I have collected an amazing amount of information about what happened to this star. Thank you for bringing me along. Once we're back in Allied space, I'll take a shuttle home.
Your discovery of a nearby warp-capable species may be a boon to the Republic. We will open a dialogue immediately to discuss the possibility of trade. This time travel... We've been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline.
The data from the future that you've provided has made it clear. We need to form a stronger alliance.
There's been a serious temporal incursion. Head to Deep Space Nine and use the wormhole to travel to the Gamma.
We've been contacted by the Federation.
Please report to the USS Postok.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance. Are you ready to visit the future?
Welcome to New Kittimer.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know. Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... Wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from? Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hall for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments. Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Romulan True, I am Sub-Commander Kale. Is there something Romulan Temporal Defense can help you with today?
Today, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours?
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble master of ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting! The ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the signing.
I am honored by the Founders and pleased to observe this most historic event. Although the Dominion was not greatly affected by the development of time travel, we have an interest in safeguarding the time stream.
Romulan True, you are from the past, from before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
While the Accords promise to safeguard the time stream for us all,
I can't help but ponder the opportunities for temporal abuse that will remain after they are signed. I fear great imbalance could occur, despite the very good intentions of all the signatories involved.
Time travelers are cowards, every conspiracy that lies behind the present, rather than the memory of the past, or the dream of the future.
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
The Xindi are no strangers to temporal affairs. The tragic conflict with Earth in the 22nd century and our manipulation by the Sphere Builders are matters of deep shame for us all. We support the Accords with the hope that they will prevent such tragedies from this day forth.
I must say, I am privileged to witness this historic event. Truly, it is a singular honor. I'm humbled, as I'm sure you are as well. The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
I am reminded of a quote from ancient Earth. And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
These accords are going to provide quite the opportunity for our historical studies of economic matters. I hear the Grand Negus is going to formally announce several new temporal rules of acquisition soon. I hope at least one of them covers going back in time to beat someone to a deal.
Greetings. Pardon me for saying so, but you look very familiar. Have we met before? Wait, I remember you from my history studies. You saved our home world. There's a statue in your honor in the capital city on Lucari Prime. Oh, wait. That's already happened for you, right? Oh, good. Woo. Just my luck to cause a paradox here, today. Can you imagine?
Your uniform. 25th century, correct? You're definitely a visitor from the past, and an honored one at that. Welcome to the 28th century. I hope you'll enjoy seeing what your work and sacrifice has wrought.
representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation... Wait, there is some kind of disturb...
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the Temporal Accords. We shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history.
Quick, get the delegates to safety. The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage. The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates. Watch out! More Krenim beaming in! More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
Can anybody hear us? The Krenim are holding us hostage in the embassy offices. Please, anyone, help!
The Krenim are holding us hostage, requesting immediate assistance.
Hang on, we're on our way.
Cooperate, and you won't be harmed. Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
Enemy combatants in close proximity. Personal shield losing power.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day. My thanks to you, of course.
You saved my world, and now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
It was a good day to die. For the Krenim.
Enemy targets on sensors.
I thought my life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack. Those look like Krenim ships.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships, fire at will. Leave no survivors.
Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
Wait! I recognize that ship. Oh no, not this time. This time you will not prevail. Taste the bitter dregs of failure.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we?
Target's shields have failed.
We've got the Krenim on the run over here. Stay focused on the array. We've cleared out most of the Krenim ships. Engaging Anoraks now. The more the merrier.
Warning, ship is under attack. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Noi. I seem to remember a little about him from my briefing on your timeline. He was a Krenim researcher on the Anoraks timeship project, if memory serves.
I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
You are cleared for docking.
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure? Noi? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile. And that's saying something for Noi. I was about to check in with him, if you would like to accompany me.
Oh, it's you. I thought I'd seen the last of you. What do you want? I'm very busy.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why. Treason? Noi? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noi has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files. He was working on the Anoraks. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamp.
Ah, I see you found my farewell gift, Trala. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anoraks now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
Noi stole the Anoraks? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this? There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noi. Authorization Trala 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Please input your selection below. Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. At last, I have found them. The Tutarians, or rather what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful. So powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods. And yet they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from Durance Vile. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Claudia.
Please input your download code.
What the? We're under attack!
Noi has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
I have been waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance! As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments. But for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you. Oh, but it does, believe me. You took them from me, my wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then, and it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first, it's time for you to die.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noi over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anoraks packs quite a punch.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Noi has learned some new tricks. This definitely isn't the same Anorax we left a few minutes ago.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Warning, ship is under attack.
Oh, there you are. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to Noi? Damn. A rogue agent out there with a ship like the Anorax is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
Noi, a traitor? Unexpected to be sure. With Anorax to command, he poses a great threat to the galaxy. We've not seen the last of him. I admit concern over the actions of the Nakul as well. Another mystery to be solved among the stars. One thing is certain. The battlefield just got a lot bigger.
The data from the future that you've provided has made it clear. We need to form a stronger alliance with the major galactic factions. To that end, we're sending delegates to the First Alliance Summit. This could be the beginning of a new age, and your presence there could ensure the summit's success. Meet our delegation at the embassy on New Romulus.
Greetings. It's an honor to finally meet you. Welcome to New Romulus and the first Alliance Summit. The opening ceremonies will begin soon. Until then, please, wait here in the assembly hall.
It is a pleasure to finally meet you. Your reputation precedes you, of course. Were it not for your efforts, this summit wouldn't be happening. Allow me to thank you for that, on behalf of the United Federation of Planets. We've quite the journey ahead of us, but we'll begin today by taking that important first step.
Kavan! Today is a momentous occasion for us all. Let us hope that this conference goes better than the one at Khitomer. You have done well to prove that we need this agreement to succeed. Still, it would be naive of us all to assume that this peace will last any longer than the ones that have come before. More likely, we're on the peaceful side of a giant circle, and it is only a matter of time before we find the side of war once more.
I confess, this summit concerns me. As in so many things, I fear that the plight of my people shall be forgotten amidst the soothing, honeyed words of the Federation and the battle cries of the Klingons. What hope does the Republic have of being heard above such a quarrel? Or the Remans?
Jolan True. Truly, we are witnesses to history. If only my esteemed mentor, Ambassador Spock, had lived to see this day. When reflecting upon this summit, I am reminded of an ancient Terran saying he once taught me. They shall beat their swords into plowshares. Many here today would see that come to pass for us, I think. And yet, despite the withdrawal of the Iconians, we have many enemies throughout the void. Many worlds must be rebuilt to survive. It seems we have great need of both swords and plowshares. A strong alliance can secure both of them for us all.
Hello. I've heard this summit is as much about peace as it is a resolution of the war. I hope that's true. Bajor is long overdue for peace, prophets willing.
Well met. Quite the gathering today, wouldn't you agree? One hopes that amidst all this splendor, the great powers find it in their hearts to remember the forlorn people of Cardassia. The orphans in particular. Greetings. We stand upon the threshold of a great venture for all gentle beings in the galaxy. The Teferi, as always, shall strive to seek a state of balance. This may be our greatest challenge yet, but one we cannot forsake.
It is agreeable to see you here. Considering your actions during the Iconian conflict, it is eminently logical for you to be a part of determining the Alliance's path forward.
Well, Rule 34 says that war is good for business. I think I've had my fill of it. Still, if what I hear on the wind is true, we're in for a large helping of Rule 35.
Exactly. And here's hoping that business is good. The markets took a beating in the last days of the war.
The opening ceremonies are about to begin. Ambassador Sugihara will be making an announcement shortly.
May I have your attention? The summit is about to commence. Please, join me in the main conference room now. So glad you could make it. I have to admit, you've done what many believe to be impossible, bringing everyone to the table to form a greater galactic alliance. Well done. Now, if you would be so kind, would you mind escorting your leader to the conference room? I can't think of a better honor guard.
And so, the time has come. Let us see what the elements have in store for us, my friends.
Fellow delegates, honored guests, we stand at a crossroads.
Chancellor, that Romulan poisoned his wine. This is Romulan treachery.
We did no such thing.
Mr. President, look out!
You. Once again, you meddle in the affairs of your betters, alien! One that shall be free of your wretched species, I think. And soon! Incorrect. To this room? A simple matter of putting one foot in a clumsy, childish attempt at one of my people is worth 1,000! Correct. You are Morris. Search the skies for a star in the grip of death. and you may find my home.
Hello. I see you've discovered... We detected a time breach in the 29th. No doubt an attempt. If you adjust your tricorder, we weren't able to... This may come as a...
Go to the future?
That's correct.
I'll be happy to acquaint Specialist Krog with the interior of a high-security...
All hands, brace for temporal shift. Now! I take it you're seeing the same... Quite so. Strange. This system hasn't been inhabited for decades. What are the not cool up to?
Unknown vessels, you have violated Nakul space. You shall pay with your lives.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Most of the Nakul are law-abiding, but the radical element...
You shall pay for your crimes, alien filth!
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Intruder attacking. Request backup immediately.
This is starting to come together. General Vosk is the leader of a radical element within the Nakul. We've acknowledged. Sensors into...
I am General Vosk of the... Be silent!
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. 4 shields failing. Rear shields failing.
Bad news. I'm...
I admire your...
Personal shield losing power. Personal shield losing power. Enemy combatants in close proximity.
Please state the nature of the
Personal shield losing power. Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
General Vosk, the portal is ready.
All hands, begin temporal shunt for Nakul, for destiny.
Come with us, sir. It's time.
Very well. Computer, initiate self-destruct sequence. Now!
Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power. Personal shield losing power. Enemy combatants in close proximity.
We need to get this situation under control, and fast! I'm beaming over to join your efforts. I'd prefer keeping the Destiny in one piece. Her temporal tech alone is well worth saving. Cover me while I try to shut down the self-destruct sequence. Be prepared. The Nakul won't go down easy. I'd prefer... Incoming enemies! Hold the line! Damn! They've hard-locked the self-destruct. I'm going to try to bypass the lock. Cover me. More not cool heading our way.
Personal shield losing power.
Please state the nature of the menace.
Personal shield losing power.
Adaptive security. Looks like they've learned a trick or two from the Borg. Let's download what data we can and leave. Multiple Nakul life signs detected.
Enemy targets on sensor. Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
Clever devils. They've started using a full data purge. Think I can stall that for a while. Need a little more time here. Cover me!
Enemy targets on sensors. Personal shield losing power. Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected.
I've unlocked one of the last data nodes. Better have a look. It's grim. I managed to buy... we don't shut down the Nakul portal quickly...
Target's shields have failed.
I'm picking up many more Nakul ships inbound.
Target's shields have failed.
You will not stop Captain Sirius of the USS Bold. Just stand ready to assist you.
Captain Buckman, USS Tibbs. How may we be of service?
Well, that could have gone better. Your confidence is... Indeed. Are you ready to return to the 25th century? Jolan True. Your report is troubling, but temporal defense assures me the threat of the Nakul will be properly addressed. In the meantime, the summit shall continue. The Klingons saw the tactical value in returning to the table, thankfully. May the elements honor the heroism of Commander Shava.